Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode on SAP UI5 and Fiori training. In the last session till UI5 we discussed about CSS cascading style sheet which is used to beautify the HTML content. In today's session we will start with the most important topic on SAP UI5 training called JavaScript. This is the most important session of entire course. Many of you are from ABAP background. You are not comfortable with the programming language so-called JavaScript. So many of you also showed your concern about this in the course before you start. That Anubhav, how the JavaScript works, we have no clue. Don't worry, we will not have any issue with JavaScript during our learning because we will cover the JavaScript as part of this course. Let's start with introduction of JavaScript. What is JavaScript? So let me start with the introduction of JavaScript. What exactly JavaScript is all about. So guys, we have seen that by far HTML and CSS which browser directly understand, but they are not programming languages, they are markup languages. However, when it comes to JavaScript is the only programming language which browser understands directly. Yes guys, this is the very first and most important statement. If you understood this statement, believe me, you understood 50% of JavaScript. If you understood this statement, you understood 50% of JavaScript. JavaScript is the only programming language which browser understand directly. Now remember one important point here to note. Java and JavaScript are two different programming languages. Okay, they are completely two different programming languages. They are not same. Their purpose, design and usage are completely different. So in this course, point 1, we are not learning Java. Many of you are confused with this word called JavaScript. You think that we need to learn Java. No guys, this is what many of ABAPer also think. Initially, I also used to think when I started. But remember, you don't need to learn Java for this. Point 1. Java and JavaScript, though the name looks same, but they are completely different programming languages. Okay, JavaScript is mainly the browser's programming language. Now, JavaScript is available in two flavors. One is called client-side JavaScript. Second is called server-side JavaScript. There are these two flavors for JavaScript. One is called client-side JavaScript. Another is called server-side JavaScript. The client-side JavaScript is mainly used for UI development, user interface development, as the programming language, preferred programming language. Along with HTML and CSS. HTML, CSS more like markups and styling code, and with them, along with them, we use JavaScript on the client side. The another one is called server-side JavaScript. Server-side JavaScript, however, is used on server side to be able to perform tasks like DB lookup. If you want to check something in database, yeah, what your ABAP does today, what is that ABAP programming language does today, guys? Same thing your server side JavaScript does. Whatever exactly your ABAP is doing, same thing server side Java. So what do you do with ABAP? You write select queries, yeah, you manage workflows, you manage SQL code, you will perform calculations, manipulations, you check logic, yeah, you have processing, looping, exception handling. All these things are performed by server-side JavaScript, just like ABAP, Java, .NET, etc. Just like that, you perform JavaScript. Yeah, just like you perform with these programming languages, what you do on server side is all what is done by server side JavaScript. Now guys, example of server side JavaScript code is Access.js. If you heard about HANA Access.js, Access is an engine, it's a lightweight application server which comes along with SAP HANA database, and there if you want to write some code you can use Access.js, server side JavaScript. The most powerful these days as another server side JavaScript is Node.js. If you have heard about Node.js, it's another and the most powerful JavaScript programming language used on server side. In this course of SAP UI5 and Fiori, whenever we are talking about JavaScript, I am always referring to client-side JavaScript. Again, I repeat, in this course, whenever I am talking about JavaScript, I am always and always referring to client-side JavaScript. I am not referring to server-side JavaScript. This is just for your knowledge, just for your introduction. I am showing you what are all the flavors of JavaScript. Now coming, just another quick interview question. What is the engine which runs JavaScript code? So guys, there must be some engine, right? Because we observed that every programming language has an engine. Can anybody quickly tell me what is the engine for ABAP programming language which runs ABAP? Anybody? What is the engine for ABAP programming language? What runs ABAP programming? Me quickly. What is the engine for ABAP programming language? Anybody? It is NetWeaver. Perfect answer. It is NetWeaver. NetWeaver is the engine for ABAP. What is engine for Java? It is JRE, Java Runtime Environment. What is engine for C? It's C compiler. Similarly, the engine for JavaScript code is different in different browsers because it's a browser's programming language, different in different browsers. For Mozilla, this engine is known as Mozilla SpiderMonkey. This is the engine which runs JavaScript code in Mozilla browser. Then in the Chrome browser, the engine name is Google V8. This is the engine which runs the JavaScript in the Google Chrome browser. Right guys? So that's about a quick name. So in interview somebody may ask you what is the engine for Google Chrome to run JavaScript code. It's Google V8 engine. Okay, just for introduction, because we do more depth analysis and this ICME script based analysis into server side JavaScript coding, which is covered in my native HANA development course. So if you want to learn Access.js, Access OData, all these things, please join my native HANA development course. Okay, that's covered in there. Node.js is also covered there. Node.js, however, is also covered in my Fiori advanced course with SAP Cloud Platform on SAP Web ID full stack. There also I've covered Node.js. Okay. Now let us move on and see what is the important funda fox of JavaScript. The first thing which we'll start is funda fox. Guys, these funda fox are the most important funda fox of entire course. If you miss out any of these things, it will be becoming difficult for you. So don't miss them out. JavaScript is case sensitive. Very important line. You guys are all surrounded or biased by ABAP programming. ABAP programming is non-case sensitive. Whether you write in capital letter or small letter, it does not matter. But in JavaScript, it matters. It is case sensitive. Okay, JavaScript is case sensitive. The second important thing, every JavaScript statement ends with semicolon. Guys, important line. Every JavaScript statement must end with semicolon. In ABAP, it must end with period, but here it is must end with semicolon. The third important aspect of JavaScript. In JavaScript, whenever you talk about JavaScript, guys, very important, we follow some naming convention. Like first letter is small and next consecutive words first letter is capital. This is also known as camel case naming convention. For example, if I want to write I love India. So guys, watch out this I love India. What do I write in JavaScript? What is the naming convention? So which is the first word here? First word here is I. So I have to write I. The second word is love. Yeah. So love ka L capital. This L should be capital because it's a second word, right? It's a second word. So this L must be capital. I love. L is capital. What is the third word? India. India is the third word. So India ka I will be capital. So this is how you will be writing I love India. Clear everybody how you will be writing JavaScript naming convention. This applies to all the variables and methods in JavaScript. Okay. This applies to all the variables and methods to JavaScript. This is what called camel case naming convention. So let me ask a question. Let's see. Let me ask a question. How many of you can answer? So if I want to write, we are enjoying this course. Can anybody tell me in JavaScript naming convention, what do you write? In JavaScript naming convention, what do you write? Anybody? I already got one answer from Sudeep. What about others? I am waiting for your answer. Let's see how many of you can write this in JavaScript naming convention. So what do you write this particular thing which I've written just now in JavaScript style? Please tell me your answer. How do you write? So remember, first letter, first word, first letter is small. Next word, next consecutive letter, for next consecutive word, first letter is capital. So now we are enjoying this course. This is how you're gonna write. Okay, we are enjoying this course. Some people just keep asking question. By the time other people gave answer and left. So guys, you should have a aggressive action plan. This is what happens many times in life. We take so much time asking so many questions rather than making action plans. It's like gifting a comb to a person. By the time you deciding to gift a comb to the person, that person's hair gone away. It is like that. So don't delay your decision. This is the biggest challenge I see in industry today. Many people, they decide to learn, but they give up. They don't learn. You have to be very aggressive. These days, people are expecting instant value out of it. Instant. It has to be fast. This is the time of fast mover. This is the time of fast mover. Everybody expecting fast. Everything has to be fast. If you are a fast mover, the chances of your success is huge. This is the biggest difference you see in me and my competitors. If you send an email to us, our SLA, internal essay is 30 minutes. 30 minutes for initial response to any single message we get from anybody. 30 minutes is our initial response time within working hours. 30 minutes is our response time. That is the reason people are enjoying and loving our trainings. This is the kind of response we have. It's a time of fast mover. You keep asking questions. I ask a question, you are on top of it, you are asking me question again. This is affecting you. Nobody wants to ask cross question in this case. I ask a question, I do not expect a question. I expect an answer, whether it's a right answer or wrong answer, right? So that's the right answer. If you have written this, this is the right answer. That's what called KML, case naming convention. 100% remember, this is very, very important. All JavaScript ready-made methods and objects follow the same naming convention, which is what everybody will follow. If you miss out this, I believe me, 90% of your mistakes, initial mistakes, 90% of your mistakes which you guys will do are case sensitive mistakes. But don't give up. Don't give up, guys. Remember, don't give up. If you give up, then you will never be able to come back. Never be able to come back. Don't give up. When something not working, don't give up. Keep trying, keep remembering my funda fox. That's why I say take a print of this PPT and carry with you all the time, so that when you stuck somewhere, refer this PPT, you will definitely find answers. In case finally, you can also shoot out an email. But remember, guys, every single email is a cost in terms of my time. So if you want Anubhav to get you the best out of training, try to save my time. If you can find out those some of the things by googling it, by yourself finding it out, very good, you will save my time, and then as a result of that I will give you some more. But if my time of reserved for this course is wasted in silly small doubts, that I'm not saying no doubt is silly, no doubt is silly, but that's okay. But still, you can find answers on Google. You can find, but still, if you are posting those questions to me, it's a cost on my time. As a result of that, who will be in loss? You will be in loss, because then that particular time which I could have given you to give some more extra dose, that is gone. That is gone in finding doubts, finding answers. So I have no issues. You send me a doubt, but have you done enough research? Have you done enough checks? Have you did brainstorming on that? Did you really struggle hard to get the output? If yes, fair enough. Fair enough. That's a real learning. If not, sometime your output doesn't come, simply people shoot an email. That simply that easiness of shooting an email, you don't know what cost you are paying for it behind the scenes. It's not visible to you, because I have limited time reserved for this batch, including the doubts. If that time goes in solving those simple things which you could have little bit effort, if you would have put, you would have found out. But that time, my time is gone into it. As a result of that, you will be into the loss behind the scenes. You wouldn't even know that you lost it. Yeah. So please be careful. I am not saying don't send me doubt. Please do send me your doubt. But have you done enough amount of research? Have you done enough amount of hard work to solve it? Yeah. Give your best. Still it doesn't work. I'm there. I'm there. But don't give up. 90% of your mistakes initially will be case sensitive mistakes. Remember this word, very important. And then you will be stuck. Your output won't come. Now coming back, let's talk about what JavaScript is capable of. What is that JavaScript? Why we use JavaScript? What JavaScript is capable of? JavaScript is capable of many things. Many things. The first thing which JavaScript is capable of, we can check, we can display output on browser screen. Second thing, what we can do, we can validate user input. We can change the HTML at runtime. We can change the CSS at runtime. We can add new elements at runtime. There are a lot of these things which we can do, guys. That's the beauty of JavaScript. There are lots of these kind of things which we can do with JavaScript. That's the beauty of JavaScript. Let us go ahead and now discuss how can we achieve this. Before we move on, let's understand one question. Anybody from a web background, what do we use in ABAP to get current date. Very easy question. Perfect answer. Sudeep has already given his side datum. Perfect answer. This is what we use. I think majority of you are uppers. So this is very apparent. We all know. Why? Do I need to declare side datum? No, I don't need to, because there is a structure in system called SYST which gets filled up at runtime based on the current system configuration or current system setup. Yeah, that is what happens. Similarly, in JavaScript, we have two ready-made objects. Two ready-made. They are, you don't have to declare them. Objects offered to us. The first object is called window object. Remember, everything is case sensitive. W has to be small. If W is capital, output will not come. The second object is a document object. The D has to be small. Has to be small. There's no other way. D has to be small. Document D must be small letter. Document object. That's what we do. Okay. Window object and document object. These are two default objects which are part of JavaScript programming by default. The window object is the object of your browser window. If I open browser, you see this is a browser. So ये जो window दिख रहा है ना, this whole thing which I'm moving, that is the object of browser. Okay, it's a browser window object. The next thing is document object, is the object of DOM, document object model. You remember, it's the object of DOM. DOM क्या है DOM? When you run the application, you saw the tree data structure for HTML. उसका ऑब्जेक्ट है ये उसका ऑब्जेक्ट, किसका ऑब्जेक्ट है? Then when you run your HTML page, the HTML page is rendered as DOM. 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 This is your DOM. This whole DOM's object, this top node, this is the object document object is all about. It's the object of DOM, which means document object model. We discussed it already. Using this object, we can access, we can traverse through the tree of HTML, right guys? HTML is a tree data structure, so we can traverse through the entire tree, guys. We can traverse through this tree, this whole tree, you see. We can traverse through this tree using that document object. Okay, that is what this document object is. This document object offers us many APIs. Okay, it offers us APIs. API stands for application programming interface. It's just a name of method or a class. So usually, rather than saying class, method, we usually say API. It is nothing but a fancy name given to a class or a method. Okay, so we have a method, a couple of methods inside this which are helpful for get us the object. Everything is an object. Remember, that's next funda, folks. Everything is an object. Wow, क्या बोल दिया मैंने, क्या बोल दिया? Everything is an object. So whenever you're working with JavaScript, everything is an object. In this case, when you're working with document especially, everything is an object. So I can use document dot D must be small. Anubhav, D must be small. How can you put D capital? It won't work. Document get element by ID. You see this method? You remember, we can have an element with ID, and watch out, first word is first letter is small, next consecutive word first letter is capital. You see E capital, B capital, I capital. So first letter, first word is small, next word first letter is capital. Camel case naming convention. So this will give you the object of that single HTML element which has an ID, some ID which you will pass here. That ID, you don't have to pass an hashtag here, guys, like CSS. Just pass the ID, because you're already telling method I want to look for ID. Yeah, then Next method comes is document dot get elements by class name. That's our next method. Yeah, these are top used methods I'm telling. There are more methods of course, but top used I'm telling. Document dot get elements by tag name. Okay, that's the next method you have. So you can guys, you can test these methods directly in browser, because anybody, why, how can you test these methods directly in the browser? Because browser understand JavaScript directly. That's why you can test them directly into the browser. Let me show you. I can come back, go to console, and now I'll say please get me document dot. So just press enter on document. You see this giving me the entire HTML DOM. See guys, that's my DOM object. You see, that's my document object. I can say document dot get element by ID. Do you remember we had an element with first name, the input field we have, so called, enter, and there you go. You see it's giving me the object of that input field. Wow, superb. I can read the value now in using dot value method, dot value property, and see it's empty right now. The value is empty. Now see the magic. I can come down, I can have any value entered. I can say Anubhav, and now I can go back and call that API again, press enter, and there you go, it's printing Anubhav on the screen. See guys, amazing stuff. So let's see, let me put this code into the notepad file. I'm going to share this notepad file with all of you so you guys can practice these statements line by line. No copy paste of code. Don't do copy paste of code. If you're doing copy paste of code, you're not my student. Okay, coming back now guys, with this, can you guess out? You can hack anybody's password. You can hack anybody's password. Let me go to Twitter. Yeah, let me go to twitter.com. Okay, let's go to Twitter. So just go to Twitter or any social media website. Sometime on cyber cafes or some media website or some computers, you are using somebody else's computer. You have their password is stored in the browser cookie or whatever they do it. Yeah. So you get this option called something called save, remember me, right? And that password comes here, right? Okay. Let me write, and now see there's some password which comes up. Sometimes you see it gets filled up, right? You can hack this password very easily. Just right click on the DOM, inspect the DOM element. Inspect directly takes you to the DOM element, and there you go, it took you to the DOM element. Here you don't see an ID. Inject the ID manually. So I'm going to inject the ID. ID equals to something. I say Anubhav. I added an ID, and now watch out, I have an ID, and now I can take this ID and go to console and say document dot get element by ID. Please get me the ID dot value. Boom, there you go. You can hack anybody's password which is stored in the browser just by using your JavaScript knowledge. Magic happens. You can see JavaScript is really magical. You can hack, but big power comes with big responsibilities. Never misuse your powers. Never misuse your powers. Big power comes with big responsibilities. You have to be responsible for that power which you are getting. Okay, so this knowledge you have, don't misuse. If you misuse your knowledge, the entire knowledge will go away. The entire knowledge will go away. Believe me, if you ever misuse your knowledge, entire knowledge will go away. Never misuse your knowledge. That's how you can hack anybody's password is stored in the browsers, and then you can go inspect the element and hack it. Isn't that interesting? That's interesting. Really, document object. What a powerful object, man. You can also work out, like, for example, I want to get all the elements which are my boxes. Yeah, remember? So document dot get elements. This time elements S है वहाँ पे. क्यों है S? The reason is we are getting multiple, because for one class name there are multiple elements. I want to get me all boxes, please. Press enter. You see it gives me an array. It gives me a collection. This collection has 3 elements because we have 3 boxes. You want to get the first one, get with 0. Press enter. That's your first box. Wow guys, Superb. That's how you can work out with HTML. Now I've done a mistake in the PPT while putting the method name. I forgot to put naming convention proper. Get element by tag name, class name, and must be capital. That was the issue. I fixed it now. Superb, guys. Remember again, 90% of your initial mistakes in JavaScript are case sensitive. Be very, very careful. Thoroughly check before sending an email to me. What is that you're missing? Okay, what is that you're missing? Okay, coming back. So that's about a quick thing. You can test everything directly into console because JavaScript is what browser understand directly. This is your best friend. Now that's another funda, folks. Who is your best friend in JavaScript development? Who is your best friend? Console is our best friend in JavaScript development, in JS development. Clear, everybody? Console is your best friend during JavaScript development. Console is your best friend in JavaScript development. Console is your best friend in JavaScript development. Clear, everybody? Clear, everybody? All these funda, folks, is very important. Let's start and begin with creating variables. How can you create variables in JavaScript? Let's start with that. So let's see how can we create variables in JavaScript. First, I will quickly introduce the syntax. Var variable name equals to, you see, variable name. I followed the naming convention. V must be small. Next consecutive word, the first letter is capital. Variable name. And then the beauty, guys, value. That's it. You don't have to put the data type. Like in C programming, we put int I, right? Int I means integer type variable. In Java, in ABAP programming, we put data, the variable type x, type I. Yeah. So here we are putting in ABAP the type always. JavaScript, the beauty is you don't have to put it based on the value you assign. Based on the value you assign, system automatically takes the variable. Now again, catch is V must be small. This is one catch. So now here you see value, whatever value you are assigning to your variable, that is what is going to considered is of type automatically. Okay, let us go ahead and see that. So I'm going to come back and create couple of variables. So let's start with very simple one. So I'm going to put all the code in the notepad file, guys. So let's come back and now I'll say var x equals to 10. Yeah. So I put x equals to 10. And now you're going to get this. Why you're getting this is because this particular code which I've written doesn't return anything. It's assigning, okay? It is assignment. So it doesn't return any, it's not a function call. If it would have been a function call, then you would have seen some result. So don't panic with this undefined. I just copy this code and keep it here in notepad for your reference. I'm going to save this and share it in the training blog. Okay, let's see the value in the x. You can see, press enter. The value inside x is 10. Wow. Now there is a JavaScript function, ready-made function called type of function. I can use type of function to check the type of this variable. Press enter and you see it's a number. Wow, guys, that's the beauty. I did not mention it's a number. It automatically taken the type based on the value assigned to it. Yeah, it has automatically taken the type based on value assigned it. So that's type of function you can write. And now let's come back. I can say x equals to 10. Anybody, what do you think? What do your programming skill knowledge say? What is this 10 of type now? What is your programming skill knowledge says? Yes, it's a character. It's a string actually now because we have given it in the double quote. In JavaScript, you can use double quote or single quote, does not matter. Both are treated as a literals. Okay, both are treated as a literals. So now I'll say type of, and I'll just do the X. You can also use upper arrow of your keyboard to just go to previous statements. You see history, upper and down arrow. So I say upper arrow and you see, wow, the type of this time is a string actually. It's producing a string. Now just let me dock it hand to hand so makes it easy for me. Okay, just dock it hand to hand. Makes it easy for me to edit the code and update it in the file. Okay, looks good. That's how I save time without switching between the screens. Okay, now I say x equals to true. What do you think? This type, this is of type what? Anybody? What will be my type of answer now? Yes, it's Boolean. Wow, there you go. You can see it's a Boolean variable. So I've assigned a Boolean variable over here. Now moving next, what else? What else can we do? So we can also do something more interesting. So by far this was easy variables, and I'll show you something complicated. We will introduce here object type of variables. What? How do you create object in JavaScript or something equivalent to a structure? In ABAP. In ABAP, we have a structure or a field string that can contain multiple fields of different data types, right? Multiple fields of different data type. That is what object variables. How do you create them? So it's very easy. Var variable name, let's say my object name, equals to curly braces. Guys, remember our first demo session I discussed about symbols will break you or make you. Symbols will break you or make you. That was our first funda fox of entire series. So symbols will break you or make you. Always use curly braces to indicate an object. And now in this object you can put property name colon property value. Comma property name colon property value. Likewise, this we can give property name value, property name value, property name value, and so on. We can keep giving that for object name. That's what we can do, guys. That's the beauty of JavaScript. This is how you create an object. Okay, how do you work with the object? Let's see in the system directly, straight away into the browser understand it directly. So come and test it. So I can say var, let's say I want to create an object called Anubhav, and this object I'll just put curly braces, and I'm gonna put, let's say, some properties. I will put employee ID, and I'll put 10, and then I put employee name, and I just put, let's say, colon, of course, Anubhav, or whatever you wish to put, let's say Jack, and then I say employee salary, and then I will just say 5,000. Yeah, I can put currency, I can put euros, something of this sort. That becomes a variable which is of type object in JavaScript. Okay, press enter. Just copy this piece of code so that you guys can try it later. And now how can you access the variables of this object? You can say Anubhav dot employee ID. You see, it's printing exactly that one single variable value. Dot is the symbol. In ABAP, what do you use in ABAP? Is structure name hyphen field name, right? You use structure name hyphen field name in ABAP. Here we use what? Here we are using what? Anybody? Here are we, what are we using? Here we are using dot symbol instead of hyphen symbol, right? Now I want to change a value. It's very easy. I want to change the employee name. So dot employee name ename equals to, currently the value is Jack. I want to change it to Monica. Press enter, and let's check out my complete object. You can see the value inside this object has been changed to Monica. Clear, everybody? How can we work with the object in JavaScript? Now if I just want to do a type of this object, let's see what do we get. I'm going to use type of function. So let's see, you're going to get an object type actually. Type of function Anubhav, and press enter. You see it's an object type, guys. Clear, everybody? It's a type of object in JavaScript. So guys, it's an object. It's a way of creating object in JavaScript. Read this again. It's a way of creating object in JavaScript. Okay, in JavaScript it's a way of creating object. So JavaScript object, and then ideally I'll say notation. It is called JavaScript object notation. Now can anybody take every first character of every word and tell me what it becomes? First character of every word, I want you to read out and tell me what it becomes. First character of every word, if I read out what it becomes, first character of every word, it becomes JSON. It becomes JSON, guys. What an answer. What an answer, guys. You might have spent till date many days understanding JSON with different books, blogs. You understood it today. JavaScript object notation, nothing but the way you create an object. This object could be more complicated. Okay, it is a simple one. In this case it can be more complicated. It can be nested structure. स्ट्रक्चर के अंदर स्ट्रक्चर, उसके अंदर एक टेबल, उसके अंदर स्ट्रक्चर, उसके अंदर एक टेबल. It can be that nesting can be done, but at least did you understand the concept of JSON? This is the top concept. This is the topmost concept. This is the upmost highest priority concept of the entire course, because we are gonna work heavily with JSON coming forward in our life. If you cannot understand JSON, you can't talk to SAP system at all, because whenever there is a request response going between server and client, it's majority of the time we work with JSON. When you want to update data in SAP system, you will be sending a JSON. When you want to fetch the data from SAP system, you will be receiving a JSON. We are going to work all day, all night with JSON and JavaScript. JavaScript object notation. What is JSON? JSON stands for JavaScript object notation. The way we look at and define JavaScript objects, JavaScript object notation. Okay, that's what it becomes. Let's move on to the next part. Now we'll talk about object type. We'll talk about variables of type array. What is an array? Array is a collection of element of same data type, right? This is what we learned in data structure in first year of my college. Array, collection of similar type of data types. Correct, guys? You're right. So this is what array is. How do you declare? What is the syntax to create an array? Very easy. Var array items, let's say, equals to, and now you would bracket. Symbols will break you or make you. Bracket is what we use to create an array in JavaScript. Curly braces we use to create an object in JavaScript. Bracket is what we use to create elements in JavaScript. And now you can have items, item 1, comma, item 0, sorry, whatever, item 2, whatever you like. You can have multiple items separated from comma. Item 3, item 4, like this. You have multiple items as part of this array. Now guys, one top introducing top Funda Fox for this item in a BAP. Where does the first record index starts in internal table? Where does the first record starts? It starts with 1, but here it starts with 0. The index of a JavaScript internal table, which is so called an array, the index starts with 0. The index starts with 0. In ABAP it starts with 1, but here in JavaScript, this internal table what I'm creating, the object, the first element starts with 0. Are you all clear? 0, 1, 2, 3. Are you all clear? 0, 1, 2, 3. Are you all clear? 0, 1, 2, 3. Index starts with 0, guys. In internal table in ABAP it starts with 1. Here in JavaScript the index starts with 0. Okay, the index starts with 0, guys. Index starts with 0. It is equivalent of an internal table. Okay, it is an equivalent of internal table. That's what it is. Okay, let us go ahead and see how can we create a simple array. Let me go back and create a simple array. So I'm going to come back. I'm going to show you simple array. So I'll say var items equals to, I'm just writing an array. So symbols will break you or make you. Remember that Funda Fox bracket is what we use. And I'll say apple. I can say pineapple. I can say banana. And I can say lychee. Press enter. How many items I have in my array? Anybody? How many items I have in my array? You have total 4 items. What is the maximum index of last item? In this case, it is 3 because it starts with 0, 1, 2 and 3. So how can you calculate the total number of items inside array? It is items dot length. You can calculate items dot length. You can see we have got 4. Wow. Items dot length we've got 4. That's how you calculate total number of items in an array. Then we have items. First item, if you want to get, you can say items of 0. That gives you the first item. Wow guys, you can see it gives me the first item. If you want to always get the last item, you can say items of length minus 1, because total number of item minus 1 gives me the index of last item, because index starts with 0. So that's why it gives me the last item. Press enter. You can see it's always giving you the last item. No matter how many items you have, it's always going to give you the last item, because you are introducing length minus 1. Length kitna hai? Length, what is the length of my array here? It is 4. Yeah, 4 minus 1 becomes 3. So that is exactly the index of my last item in this case. When you have more item, the index will automatically change here inside based on length calculation. That's how it will always give you the last item. Okay, let's introduce a new item. So I can say items collection dot push to add a new record. And I'll say I want to add a new record. Let's say I want to add orange. Yeah. Want to add it in, and now you see the index, it returns 5, so it has become total 5 elements. So let's check it out. I can say items, press enter, voila, you can see the last item is orange. Beautiful. How can you delete the last item? So I can say items dot pop kar do, push and pop, it deletes the last item. That's how an array works. First in, last out. Yeah, first in, last out. That's how array works, right? First in, last out. So pop, it deleted that item, and now I say items, and you see if you want to delete an item from middle, suppose I want to delete item pineapple. Anybody, what is the index of pineapple in this case? What is the index of pineapple in this case? What is the index? 0, 1, 2, 3. अब तो बता दो क्या है index pineapple का? What is the index of pineapple? Anybody? What is the index? I just got 2 answers. Only it's 1. Perfect answer. Yeah. The index for this is 1 now. So let us go ahead and see how can I delete one item. So how many items you want to delete after first index? Only one item I want to delete, which is pineapple. So I say items dot splice. Please splice my array starting from position number 1. How many items you want to delete? Delete count is 1. I want to delete one item after first item. Suppose I want to delete banana. So I say item splice of 2, because index of banana is 2, and after this banana I want to delete one item, which means only banana I want to delete. Press enter. You see banana popped out. And now you look at your items array, it is left out with just 3 items. That's a splice function used for array to delete an item from the middle. Now, let's see some more functions, built-in functions. In JavaScript, especially the string functions, we use them heavily. So I create a variable var name, or I say fn, first name. I can say Anubhav. And then I'll use var ln, last name, equals to Beroy, and then I say I want to concatenate, so I can say fn dot concat with ln. Yeah, so now as a result you see it concatenates 2 string values and gives you the result. Yeah, so that's how you can check, do a little string operation. There are more to it. You want to get a substring, like you do a lot of string operations, guys. I want to get the first 3 characters of this first name. Yeah, so I want just first 3 characters. So fn dot substring. Yeah, substring I want to get from 0 to 2. Yeah, 0 1 2 or 0 2 3. Yeah, 3 characters I want. So you see it has got from 0th index, starting that index, 3 characters it gave me. That's my substring function in string. Now what else? I want to say, I want to convert it to uppercase. So fn dot to uppercase. You see, in the console, it is already giving you code completion. You see, it's giving me code completion in console. Whatever possible, it's giving me. See, second is to uppercase. Watch out, the JavaScript naming convention. First letter is small, next consecutive word first letter is capital. ये मत भूल जाना, problem हो जाएगा. इसी का 90% mistake आता है. 90% issues are because of this, because we are, and that's not our problem, it is our mind problem. Our mind always is programmed to programming ABAP. Yeah, we are programmed to program ABAP. We are not programmed to program JavaScript till now. Our mind is not programmed. How will you program your mind? Practice is the only key to program your mind to program JavaScript. Okay, program your mind to program JavaScript. क्या बोल दिया मैंने? Program your mind to program JavaScript, guys. Our mind is programmed today to program ABAP language, which is not case sensitive. Hence, we do these case sensitive mistakes very often in JavaScript. Okay, 90% of your mistakes are case sensitive. Believe me, 90%. And it's fun, you know. It's fun when your output doesn't come, just smile. Next time when your output, what happens? मेरा तो जिंदगी खराब हो गया, मेरा तो output नहीं आ रहा, मेरा तो कुछ नहीं हो रहा. Don't do that. Don't demoralize yourself. It happens with everybody. You will see in upcoming days, many times my output will also not come. Many times my things will also not work. So do I sit idle? Do I sit demotivated that nothing can happen in my life? No, guys, you can't stop there. You got to move on, get up and move on, get up and move on. You can't stop. We have come a long way. We can't stop anymore. It's been long time, long hours of study in engineering days. Beta padhai kar lo. So since my 6th class, I'm hearing it. Anubhav, please study. After that, it's just fun. Anubhav, board exams, please study. After that, it's just fun. Anubhav, college admission, IIT, IEEE, PET, crack these exams. After that, it's just fun, Anubhav. Anubhav, please study carefully in engineering. Nobody will give you job otherwise. This is the time. After that, it's all fun, Anubhav. After the college, Anubhav, please study in company. Otherwise, they will throw you out of the company. Please study. Otherwise, they will throw you out. It's very difficult. These are initial days of your career. You have to work hard. Just keep. So it's a race running. Okay, it's a race. It's a never ending thing. So all this huge time you guys have spent working hard, don't let it go waste. Don't let it go waste, guys. Don't let it go. So you have worked, so you have done a lot of compromises in your life. You have done a lot of things which you did not want to do, you were forced to do. उसका नतीजा ये निकलेगा, you get demotivated and sit down? No, I will not. I've reached here. I will not stop. I will continue. I will learn it. I will show to the world that I can learn it. If I have done it in the past, I can do it in the future as well. So never get demoralized if nothing works. Don't worry. Relax, sit, read the funda foxes, try to get your hands dirty into code. Let's see what happens. Output ही तो नहीं आएगा, बम थोड़ी फट रहा है. It's okay. Let it go. No problem. It's absolutely fine. Let it not come. Do ample number of mistakes you can do. Try to do research on Google. Google को खंगाल दो output निकालने के लिए. खंगाल दो Google को. एक blog पढ़ लो. एक link पे click कर लो. Try hard to get the output. It still doesn't work. Come to me. I am there to solve your doubts. But get me quality doubts, not silly doubts. You can get silly doubt, but you know that there is a cost on my hours. You want to save my hours, you get more in this training. If you don't save my hours, you will waste my time on small things. You can never target big. Target something big, guys. Target something big with Anubhav. Don't target small things. Yeah, don't target small things. Don't keep your mind small in small things. Try something big. Try to target big goals. Make big goals. And if you want to achieve those big things with Anubhav, you got to save my time. Otherwise, my time is gone on small things. Okay, coming back. So that's about the uppercase. So likewise, you have lots of string operations. Many of them we're gonna learn in upcoming days when we'll start coding with UI5. Now, guys, the most important topic. There's a question. Anubhav, can we combine array and object. Absolutely, absolutely guys. What about if I've been asked to store multiple employee information? If I have been asked to store multiple employee information, how will I do? You can do it with the array and object concept combined together. Yes guys, var, let's say employee table, I can say equals to an array. Inside this array now, I can have multiple records. So I can have first record, comma, second record, comma, third record, comma, fourth record, comma, fifth record. Like this, I can have multiple records. Let me keep right now 3 records just for simplicity. And inside this now, I can have my properties. I can have my properties. So I can put this property first record, comma, press shift enter. It will move the line down. It won't trigger an enter. It will move the line down. Shift enter to format here. Shift enter to format here. Yeah, just it will move the line. Not, it will not trigger the code. And now you see I can have similar record repeating multiple times. So that's like an internal table, exact internal table concept in JavaScript. So you have now multiple work areas in each line of internal table. That's what you can do. Employee ID, now I can say employee ID 20. Okay, I can say Jack, instead of Jack I can say Matthias, and I can say 9,500 euros. I can have employee number 30. Martin, can say salary as 2,400 US dollars, and that's my employee table. It is an internal table with how many records? Anybody? How many records your internal table has? It has 3 records. Perfect answer. Each record has how many properties? 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 4 properties. Perfect answer. Now, can anybody tell me if I want to access Matthias' salary, how do I traverse? If I want to access Matthias' salary, how do I traverse? Let's start traversing to Matthias' salary. So first comes his array. Array आ गया सबसे पहले. Where the Matthias exists? What is the index where Matthias exists? What is the index where Matthias exists? What is the index where Matthias exists? No. No, Madhu, it's not right answer. Index starts with 0, 0, 1, 2. So Matthias exists at what index, Madhu? What index Matthias exists? What index Matthias? I want to hear from Madhu, who has given wrong answer. What index Matthias exists, Madhu? What index? Yes, it's exists at position number 1. That's where Matthias exists. So let's first traverse to the Matthias record. So I'm going to traverse to Matthias record. So I say employee table of 1. You see Matthias ka record aa gaya. Now this is a structure. Don't you see it's a work area? Yeah, it's like work area now. Now guys, if I want to access salary, what do I do in this record? Just now I taught you the object concept. How do you access a property of an object? Yes, dot. Perfect answer, Sudeep. Dot. And I can say salary. Enter. There you go. You can see 9,500 bucks is the salary for Matthias. Clear, everybody? Don't go by search mechanism right now. Okay. You don't think about read table statement. Don't think about read table statement. Just see how can I traversing it manually. Okay. We will also go on now to the advanced stuff. So now if I want to loop over all the data and print everything, I can do that. Okay. I can use loop in JavaScript. So I can say for loop. It's like C programming used to do loop, right? I equals to 0. It starts with 0. The index starts with 0. Okay, because the index starts with 0 and it goes on up to the length of the item. So I can say index is 0, I is less than items dot length. Yeah, please loop as long as I is less than item length, which is in this case is 3. I have 3 records, so it will loop to 0, 1, 2. Yeah, it will loop 3 times 0, 1, 2. The moment it reaches 3, it comes out of loop. I plus plus curly braces inside this here. Now we can write accessing the item. So I will say my first item, my record. I can say record. I can create a work area. items of ith element. Give me ith element, please. So you see, this is a loop. It starts one by one. 0th element it starts with for as long as the items exist, and it will get each item one by one in the loop pass. It's like loop at internal table, which we do in ABAP. Loop at itab. This is how a variant of loop at itab in JavaScript. Now I can say record, and I can say print this. So I can say console.log and print this record dot. I want to print employee names. So ename and press enter. Watch out, this is my code to print all employee names, and oops, it gives me an error. There is something wrong. There is something I'm missing. What am I missing? What am I missing? Am I missing something? What am I missing? What am I missing? Record, I've got items of ith element, I've got it, and then I'm saying this record. See, index is this one, guys. This is index, not a problem. I think I missed a var here. It should declare the variable and then it should proceed. No, that is not the issue. Okay, I don't know what is that I'm missing. Property name is here. See, guys, ename is our property name. See, ename is our property name. It's correct only. I got it. It is not items table. My table name is EMP table. My table name is EMP table. My table name which I declared was EMP table. I am using items here. Items is not a table. It is EMP table. It is not items table. Did you get it, guys? The problem, I declared a variable with name EMP table, but I am using here in items, which is incorrect. You got the answer? Did you all understood? थोड़ा सा दिमाग लगाओ, बहुत आराम से आंसर मिलता है, बहुत ही आराम से. And now I just come back, EMP table, and then here, yeah, everything remains same. Press enter. Oops, again something is wrong. कुछ तो मिस कर रहा हूँ. Something I'm missing. Yes, inside this also it's EMP table. Yes, that's also EMP table. Press enter. Voila, you can see all the 3 employees are getting printed on the screen. Are you all clear, guys? All the 3 employees are getting printed on the screen. Wow, what an amazing stuff, guys. That's the beauty of loop. This is how you can loop over the data and print the result. And it's like loop at itab, okay? It is like a loop at internal table. Clear, everybody? So this one is telling you the line number. Actually, I am keep on writing. So you see, I've written lots of line of code. So here it's telling line number 3 is triggered. So this line number 3 was triggered. You see 1, 2 and 3. Third line got triggered, and that line produced this result. It tells you the line number. VM for virtual machine, I think it's virtual machine 1461. That is what I think, it's some information it's having, but this one is important. Yeah. Any code which you directly write goes to the virtual machine to execute it. So in that virtual machine, line number 3 is where your code got executed, which produced this output. Okay, that's about the loop. How do you troubleshoot? We will see the debugging when we'll put this code into the system. I'll show you debugging. Okay, I'll show you that debugging also. So that's about working with variables in JavaScript. Now let us see also another interesting thing, output functions in JavaScript. There are 4 output functions in JavaScript. Output functions in JavaScript. There are 4 ready-made output functions as part of JavaScript. Let's write down them. Very important. The first function is called console.log, which prints something in the console. Just now we used that. Then we have window.alert. W must be small. Sometimes if you just write alert also, system will understand. You don't have to say window.alert all the time. Just say alert, system will understand. Third comes is document.write. D must be small. And last one comes is HTML element dot inner text. These are all the 4 output functions in JavaScript. Let's test them one by one. So first I come and test for console log. So I say console.log, and I will say welcome to www.online fioritrainings.com, and then you can see it's just printing it directly. Whatever I've written, it's printing it. Yeah, that's my first example for console.log, printing something on the UI on the console. Second one, let's write down. I can say document.write. It is going to change the whole DOM with what I'm going to write here. Okay, it is going to change whatever I will write inside here. It is going to change my whole DOM. I'll say wow. Enter. You can see the complete DOM was replaced by whatever I've written here. Whole DOM it replaces and gets you what you want. So first one, print something in console. Sorry. This one changes the whole DOM with content. So content, of course, you're gonna give the content inside. Yeah, you can give an HTML content also. The third one, window.alert, very interesting. It gets a pop-up. Window pop-up. It will get you a pop-up actually. Let me show you. So you can come back, window.pop-up. JavaScript is powerful. Not pop-up, it's alert. Sorry. And there you go. You see a nice, beautiful pop-up on your screen, which shows you JavaScript is powerful and an OK button. That's how they get the pop-up. This is how we get a pop-up, guys, using JavaScript. Window.alert. The last one, we are going to see that last one little later when we'll get into program. So let's write our first code. So how do you implement this code along with HTML? So abhi tak we just testing it here in the console. But how am I going to implement it? For implementing JavaScript, we typically again have three ways of writing JavaScript. Okay, we have three ways of writing JavaScript. First is come inline JavaScript. Second is come internal JavaScript. And third is come external JavaScript. The inline JavaScript, the code is written as usual at the HTML element level. It is written exactly at HTML element level. उस level पे लिखेंगे inline JavaScript. Okay. For the internal JavaScript, the code is written like in CSS chapter. You remember which tag did we use in CSS to write internal CSS? Which tag did we use to write internal CSS? Those who are writing the notes in notebook or having a printout, they can quickly tell which tag, style tag. Perfect answer, Pavan. We used style tag to write internal CSS in the CSS unit. Here the code is written at page level. We use script tag here. There we used style tag. Here we're going to use script tag because it's writing JavaScript. So script tag we use. External CSS, the code is written in a separate file with extension as .js extension. Okay, it's written a separate file with .js extension and referenced as with script tag again. So there we use link tag to reference it, but here script itself is used to reference with source of the file where the source is. This is how we reference a script. Okay, JavaScript file. So these are all the three important ways by which you write JavaScript. One is at the element level, one is written at the page level, and one is written at the external level. Now one more last important thing, there are two types of function. There are two ways to create functions in JavaScript. The first is called anonymous functions and second is called named functions. In anonymous function, as the name suggests, functions without a name. However, the named functions, the functions with name, this is the difference. Functions without name, functions with name. So what is the syntax to write functions without name in JavaScript? It is function parenthesis. Remember, the parenthesis symbols will break you or make you. Function parenthesis curly braces, and inside that your coda, all your coda will be inside this. Okay, all your coda. It's just code, just having some fun. Okay, it's all coda, all your JavaScript coda inside this. Okay, next one, named functions. Named functions, how do you write named functions? So you say function, and this time I'm going to give function name. You remember the JavaScript naming convention? Function, first letter is small, next consecutive word, first letter is capital. You can also pass optionally parameters, guys, in both of them. Inside the parenthesis, you can pass parameters like this. You can pass multiple parameters like this. You can pass parameters, and then coda, inside that you can write coda. A function always returns something. Okay, it is possible to ignore return, it will return blank, but it is good practice to write returning of a function, something it may return. Clear, everybody? That's how the function is written. So with that, we will close our session today. Yeah, so and in next class we will go to the system, and we will be writing our code in the system in the next session with the HTML file which we will create, and we'll see lots of different examples of applying the JavaScript. Whatever I discussed here, JavaScript can do this, do that. You can see these things. We will apply all these things. We will also talk about, just remind me if I forget, I'll note down here. We will also talk about the way JavaScript works. It doesn't work in a linear way. JavaScript works asynchronously. It is a non-blocking IO. Okay, it is a non-blocking IO programming language. What does this word means? We're going to discuss more in detail, because this is also, you must understand, which makes JavaScript more powerful and different than other programming languages. Okay, guys, that is what we will also understand. Okay, let us move on. So time for your questions. Please feel free to ask your questions directly into the chat window, or you can unmute your line and also ask. Okay, let us go ahead and do that. Okay.
I have a question about image. Like, when I put the image on the HTML one, it doesn't show any kind of image.
Share your screen, please.
Yes, I can share.
Pawan is asking, is server-side JavaScript mandatory for S4HANA? No, Pawan. In server-side in S4HANA, we use ABAP programming. We don't use JavaScript on server-side. Server-side JavaScript is important if you have a freelancing idea, you have a startup idea, you want to build your own software and deploy it into the cloud. And cloud-based deployment for server-side JavaScript is cheaper as compared to cloud-based deployment for Java-based applications. That is why server-side JavaScript like Node.js is very popular in the market for creating the web applications using server-side Node.js and client-side JavaScript, which we learned here. Okay, I can see your screen, Syed. Please proceed. Yes, Syed, please proceed. We can see your screen. Please unmute your line. Your line is still muted.
All right.
Yeah, perfect. We lost your screen. I think you clicked on that button.
Oh.
Yeah, you got to share again. There must be one button again to share your screen.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, we got it again. Thanks. Yes, please.
So when I do this, screen images kalpana.jpg, and in the alternative it is not available, it is not showing in here no matter what I do. I tried to do it in
okay, I got the answer. Okay, wait, I will give 10 seconds. Let's see who can crack it. I'm sure Prasoon is there in class. He is one of my best students. He will crack it in 10 seconds. Count starts now. Anybody? The problem is with this. 10, 9, shoot your answers. Let's see.
Tag is not ended.
No, Steve has given the answer already. I images, the folder name, what Sayyid has kept, I was capital in folder name, but in SRC property, the I was kept small. Sudeep has got it.
I got
Save that.
like this, right?
Yes, save this now.
I cannot save it. It
Please,
doesn't let me say. Oh, now it is letting me save.
if you make a
Before it
change,
won't.
then only it will let you save. If you don't make a change,
No,
how will it let you save?
no. Before it was it. The button became
Okay,
disabled.
as I mentioned yesterday, everything works at front of trainer. Okay,
That's
let's
good.
see. Tan, tan,
Yep, I got it.
tan.
I got it. So at least I tried. I tried different ways and I couldn't figure it
I
out.
told you
But it's
90% of your mistakes are because of case sensitive. Today only I told you this, and you see today
yep.
itself, we see one use case. This is what matters, guys, when it comes to HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It is case sensitive, especially literals. In this case, it's a literal case. It's not JavaScript you've written, but it's a literal you've used. Literal, maybe it should be you're using literal in double quote. It has to be the same following the same path. Mhm.
So I'm a little slow learner, so I go very slow. Keep on
You are not
looking
slower
into
than
it.
me. I can bet you. I am slowest of all of you. All of you. But you know my strength? Once I learn, I never forget.
Oh, same with me. Like,
I learn very slow. I'm a very slow learner. But once I learn, I never forget. Because why? Why my speed is slow? Because I write every single thing, no matter what, how much time it takes. With my own hand, I write it. Okay, with my own hand. Okay, no problem. No problem, Prasoon. It's okay. Fine.
thank you,
Sudeep,
sir.
you got it right, man. Cheer to you, Sudeep. Thank you, everyone. With that, is a wrap on today's class. See you tomorrow. Have a nice day. Goodbye.